Hello, I want to share with you guys a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, I guess. So I feel like if I tell this to someone that they might be able to not make this mistake. I would say that my first memory of this, I would say, was when I was younger. And my mom would always make a statement. She'd be like, okay, Shanae. My parents called me Shanae. Okay, Shanae, it's just your world. We're just living in it. And at the time, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, you're right. And that's really bad. And that just came from being spoiled and everything. So as life began to happen to me, I was just very not aware of my part in the situation. So I guess the point that I'm getting to is that you are not always the victim. If there's a confrontation, if there's something that goes on in a relationship, there's always two sides to every story, right? And we know that we have people out here that are not so good and they just do us wrong, but there's also your part that you played in it. If someone has done you wrong, sometimes you put yourself in that position to be done wrong, right? And then let's say you feel like you haven't done absolutely anything. Well, then you move on from the situation and you begin to hate the person and get bitter. So now you're harboring unforgiveness, which is not the right thing to do, right? So I just want to encourage you guys to keep an open mind and look at both sides of the situation, why people may have done the things that they have done. Sometimes it has absolutely anything to do with you. I've learned working in customer service that you cannot take many things personal, because a lot of times people get to you and it's their last straw and they just want to go off and lose their mind on you, but it doesn't have anything to do with you. And I think one of the best pieces of advice I've received is that if you don't know me, then you don't get to hurt me. So it's all about guarding your heart. It's all about being tough, basically, not letting people get to you. The people who are in my innermost circle, who are closest to me, can probably say some things that might hurt me, but a stranger on the street cannot. But I'm saying this now, but it's still a work in progress. Let me tell y'all, I was on my way to work the other morning, and I am not a morning person, so I'm already grouchy driving. And when I got to the light, somebody beeped at me when the light changed. I mean, the light hadn't even, you know how it changes and comes back on the other color? It hadn't even got an opportunity to do that. And it was this lady behind me, and she beeped her horn at me. So I beeped the horn back, and then I stopped for a little while longer because why are you rushing me? And when I got to work, I realized I was heated, right? And that could have determined the rest of my day. Like, I could have just automatically had a really bad day because of that. And I just realized that I think that things happen to test you. And if that was a test, that I failed miserably, but I did learn in that once I got to the point where I could tell somebody, I realized that it was kind of silly for me to be that upset about something that's going on in the car. But it's just something about driving that just kind of makes you a little irritable. I'm not sure what it is, but I am still working on that. But I just want to encourage you guys that when you go through something happens, really look at your side of really look at your part in the situation. And sometimes people have a perception of you that's not true. So if they think, for example, if somebody thinks that I'm a spoiled brat, which I used to be, I'm not no more, y'all. I hung up my jersey, okay? But if somebody looks at you and thinks that you are that way, then they're already they're looking at you through glasses that say that you're a spoiled brat. So if you go to a restaurant and you decide that you don't want ice in your drink, they're already rolling their eyes like, here she is, you know, she just can't have anything regular. So you never really know what kind of thoughts people are having about you and the reasons that they say the things that they say. Like, I know a lot of times when I was younger, things were just brushed off as they were just jealous. They're just jealous. And sometimes I do believe that's true, because there are a lot of opportunities where people can be kind and they choose to not be kind. And then you have to learn how to respond in a respectful way. That's where the power is, because trust me, straightening somebody out feels wonderful, but it's not the right thing to do. You're gonna feel good in the moment, but if you're like me, you're gonna think later, hey, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Then you might have to go back and apologize. So if you just learn to not let things get to you, which is guarding your heart, if you know you're going around people who are going to say something crazy, then just already be ready for whatever. Not a fight, but whatever they might have to say, so that you can stop yourself from getting upset. I was just saying earlier, it's funny how all of this is coming together, but I was just telling someone earlier that if you know, I used to have a lady that came in my job, and she's she might still come in there, but I'm not on the register much, so I don't know, but she is very disrespectful and rude. But I don't think that she's all there, right? But she just like throws money and yells, and she's just not a really pleasant person to be around. But I was thinking, if I let this lady come in here today knowing how she is and upset me, then that makes me the crazy one. So you have to learn to kind of roll with the punches and not let people just be able to upset you that quick. Because if they know they have that power over you, then they'll do it every chance that they get. And there is a way to defend yourself in a respectful way. It takes a little practice, but there is a way to defend yourself and still be respectful. So I hope that everything that I'm saying is making sense. This is one of my longer videos. I'm trying not to go off of a script or write anything down, because y'all know I write everything down. Well, you don't know, but you know now. So yeah, that's just what I want to offer to you. First of all, look at your part in the situation. Secondly, you need to realize that people might not see you the way that you are. They might have their own preconceived notion of you. And third, and I think most important, is if you keep letting somebody upset you, then the issue is with you and not them. So you just have to learn. I was very sensitive as a child, and I realized that I had to learn to toughen up, because if not, people will just have a field day with you. So I pride myself now on being able to deal with people in a respectful way. And I don't mean like nice nasty, because I can do that well, but I mean being respectful and just saying straight up, hey. For example, my son has gained weight, and people have made a lot of comments to him, and I don't like it. So instead of me going slam off saying, you know, look how much you weigh, or something to that effect, I would just say something like, hey, why don't leave him alone, or don't do that. Because I don't think that's right. Just leave them alone. I don't say things about your children, so don't say anything about mine. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it'll be helpful. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. God bless you.